Right, how's it going, fellas? Today I'm bringing you a custom tactics video of the 3-5-2 formation, and all I can say about this is it is such a joy to use, and I think I've gone on the longest undefeated run I probably ever have in FIFA with this formation. It is so solid at the back and solid going forward, creating loads of options for you, and yeah, it's honestly just such a joy to use. So today I'm just going to be bringing you some suggested players to play in the different positions, and then I'm also going to be talking you through my custom instructions and tactics. So let's just jump right into it. Now here you see the first two centre backs, and I am talking about the left and right centre back, which are slightly different to the main centre back in this formation. These two centre backs, it is really important that they've got decent pace. I would say nothing below 75. So here I've got Klosterman with 84 and Clinton Mata with 82. Showing you some slightly different budgets as well, and although it is important they've got some decent defending and physical stats, it is really important about the pace, as I'm showing you here as well. Depending on what starting formation you play, you can actually put left and right backs into this formation and it works really well. I personally used Aaron Wan-Bissaka and it worked wonders for me. Now I'm going to be showing you the back three I used with the central centre back, who can afford to be a bit slower. I've got Rudiger, 70 pace, but put a shadow on him and he has no problem with the pace. So those are the back three I've got, and I would really suggest you have similar players, at least two of the centre backs with roughly 80 pace, and then the central one can be a bit slower, bit more defensive and robust. Now moving on to two of the key players in this formation, it is the CDMs. Here on the screen you see Joshua Kimmich and Limer. And the importance of these players is that they are still defensive-minded players, obviously in a CDM position. Here I've got Kimmich with great defensive stats, but mainly I've chosen him because of his passing stats. These two CDMs will be creating so many opportunities for you, long through balls from a counter-attack. I played Kimmich and Partey to be a bit more robust and solid, and Kimmich being the player I look to make my interceptions with. And honestly, this CDM duo worked wonders. Thomas Partey was also a joy to use with his long shot taker trait, which honestly, what a monster of a shot this lad had. So this is definitely a CDM duo I can recommend. Now, moving on to the absolute workhorses of this team, it is the left and right mid, who play a bit of right wing back and left wing back, and right wing and left wing. When you're defending with this formation, you've got 5 at the back, but when you're going forward, you've got 5 in an attack. And it is because these boys absolutely bomb it down the wings, and that is also why I'm saying it is really, really important that these boys have some pace on them. I played Adama Traore with 96 and Alphonso Davies with 96, and these boys saved my life in defence and just bombed it down the wings and played so many crosses into the front three. So yeah, honestly, what I'm going to say for these players are have some decent pace on them. If you can get players with decent pace and passing, that is probably the best to have. Now moving on to the cam, you can choose here a bit what you want. I personally went for the player I've got sitting on the bench there, Douglas Costa, but I could imagine a player such as Christian Eriksen would also be really good, because all you need here is some decent passing and some decent dribbling. I chose Costa because he's got 5-star skills, happens to have sick pace as well. Unfortunately, he was lacking a bit on the shooting, and that is one of the things I would also recommend, that they've got a decent long shot that you can take those curves from outside the box. But Douglas Costa with the 5-star skills was an absolute joy to use. And finally, moving on to the big boys up top, I played Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and yet again on the bench Rodrigo, but I could also suggest a player like Haaland, because all you need up top yet again in this formation is decent pace, but actually some decent finishes, because the left and right mids will be providing your top two with some good balls in the box. You want some decently sized players that can actually get their head onto it if need be. And now moving into the player instructions, I am going to be starting with the keeper, because I did actually change his saving outside the box to be a sweeper keeper, just to promote him to rush out a bit more and put some pressure on the defenders. Did this cost me a goal or two? Yes, but it did also save me a lot more, where I think they would have scored if I just let him run. And next, looking at the CDMs, I had some fun playing around with the defensive behaviour. Some I had on balanced defence, some I had on man mark, some I had cut passing lanes. But the important thing for these two CDMs is that you have both of them on stay back while attacking and to cover center. You don't need them to spread out into left and right back. But I would suggest that you keep one of the CDMs on cut passing lanes and then the other on either man mark or balance. It really helped me having Kimmich on cut passing lanes, as he just swept up any kind of half-assed balls in the midfield, and it was honestly really solid. And swiftly moving on to the left and right mids, it is vital for this formation to work that you have them on comeback on defense, otherwise you will just be left with the back three and this formation won't work defensively. I also had them on stay wide to make sure that they stay out wide and don't get too bunched up in the midfield. And also the other important thing for these positions are to get into the box. This allows them to, when you don't have the ball, to drop back and play a back five. But as soon as you get hold of the ball, these pacey players will be sprinting up the pitch to try get into the box for crosses or just pass backs. And that, I think, is the secret to have these left and right mids really work their socks off, but just for this whole team to work both defensively and going forward. And then moving on to the cam, nothing fancy really. Have them on stay forward, balance crossing runs, stick to position and normal interceptions. It's your choice what you want with defensive support. Well, it's your choice with what you do with all of these players or this formation, or just don't listen to me at all. Yeah, pretty good advice. But I would just recommend it because you don't need them dropping back in the midfield. You've got the CDMs to cover. Finally, the big boys up top, just have them on balance width, get in behind and stay forward. You really don't need these boys to be dropping back. You just want them to stay up, get in behind, look to make those runs in behind. And now wrapping up this video with the tactics I was using. In this 3-5-2, I found it really helpful to play with press after possession loss, which meant you could just dominate your opponent when it comes to the possession and just not really give them the chance to play in balls behind. But that's completely up to you and the play style you want to play. I just felt that it really worked with a 3-5-2 and led to so many of my goals winning the ball back from his defenders and then just being through already. I played on basically medium width and slightly higher depth to play that high line to, like I said, force his mistakes with his defenders. And on the offense, I played long ball, as it seems to be the thing this year, with relatively high width to really spread the play and allow my cam quite a lot of space in the midfield. And then also players in box, decently high number of players in the box, but with low corners and free kicks, because you really don't need loads of people in the box. Okay boys, so those are my custom tactics and the formation I've been using, and here are just some clips that I captured whilst playing with this formation and tactics. And as you can see in this clip, it is just so easy to score in this game. I'm winning 6-1 just from all the counter attacks. And the next clip, I'm going to be showing you just how solid it is defensively. You see there right now to back four with Davies dropping back and the CDMs being around there, roaming, picking up any of those passes, and it's too easy. Here yet again, another brilliant team goal thanks to the pace on the left mid, Alphonso Davies. I think I was looking for a Douglas Costa, but out of nowhere comes Kimmich and bang, bottom right, easy goal. Counter attacks are just too easy and too effective with this team. Next here, you see the amount of options Douglas Costa has here, or any of the attackers. We end up winning a penalty from this, but you see he's got about 4-5 players that he can play it to when going forward. And yeah, it's just too easy. Yet again, you see how solid we are here defensively, working as a unit. Alphonso Davies wins the ball back. Douglas Costa gets the ball, sends it through, and it's already a 2-on-1 here. And just a cheeky little sweaty goal to finish the game off. Anyways, that's been today's video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you give these custom tactics a try. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.